Learn English through stories. Beep. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents: 1. The Soldier and the Witch. 2. Say sorry for your mistakes. 3. The Birds and the Shivering Monkeys. 4. The Boys and the Frogs. 5. Picture dictionary page. 1. The Soldier and the Witch. Kranti, what do you want to be when you grow up? Asked Grandma. I want to join the army. I want to be a soldier, replied he. Okay, I will tell a story about a witch and a soldier, said Grandma. What is a witch? Asked Kranti. Grandma replied, normally, a witch is an old woman in fairy tale stories. They look ugly and wicked. They have always magical power. Often, they use that power to harm people, but sometimes they use that power to help people. There is also another meaning of the word witch. It is an insulting word for a woman. If somebody calls a witch to a woman, they mean she is ugly and unpleasant. Thank you, Grandma, said he. Here is a story. Once a soldier was coming home after a long war. It was a long walk. Even though he was a soldier, he was very kind. His family was very poor. While walking, he thought to himself, what do poor people have? Nothing, but they can have some kindness. It does not cost anything, so he was kind. It was a hot summer day. He was very thirsty. He had his water flask in his backpack, but it was empty. He was also very tired. He wanted to have some rest. He looked around and saw a big tree not too far. He went to the tree. It was cooler under the tree. He took off his backpack and lay down. Soon he fell asleep. He was in deep sleep when something startled him. When he opened his eyes, he saw a witch standing next to him. First, he got scared. But this was not a bad-looking witch. She was old but not ugly. Hello, soldier, are thirsty? Asked witch. Yes, I am very thirsty, replied soldier. Where is your flask? Asked witch. It is in my backpack, but it is empty, said soldier. It is not empty anymore. Open your backpack and have a look, said witch. The soldier opened the backpack and took out his flask. He opened it. It was full to the brim. But it was not water. It was mango juice. It was cold and very sweet. After drinking some, he looked up. He was sitting under a mango tree. The tree was loaded with mangoes. Are you hungry? Asked witch. Yes, I am hungry. I am very hungry, said soldier. Where is your tiffin box? Asked witch. It is in my backpack, but it is empty, said soldier. Go to your tiffin box and have a look, said witch. He opened his tiffin box. The top tier contained 2 methi parathas and mango pickles. The second tier contained hot and spicy lamb curry. The third tier contained thick and creamy yogurt. The bottom tier contained lassi with sweet honey. The food was so delicious. While eating, he nearly bit his fingers. Is your family poor? Asked witch. Very poor. We are very poor. We have no land. Our house is made of cane. We have no beds. We sleep on the floor, said soldier. You were thirsty before. I am sure you are not thirsty anymore. You were hungry before. I am sure you are not hungry anymore. You are poor now. I am sure you will not be poor anymore, said witch. Thank you, ma'am, said soldier. Listen, son, I am sending you to an island. There is a box hidden on the island, but 3 big dogs are guarding it. Be nice to the dogs, they will not harm you. Remove them gently and open the box. Fill your backpack with gold coins and close the box. Put the dogs back. Say the word home and soon you will be home. Spend your money wisely. I am sure you know, there is a girl called Sandita. She and you were in the same school. She is a rich girl, but she liked you when you were poor. She liked you because you wanted to be a soldier. You are still in her heart. Her parents wanted her to marry a rich man. She refused. She is waiting for you. She is very intelligent, said Witch and disappeared. When the soldier reached the island, he found the box and also the dogs guarding it. He had to first try to tame the dogs to reach and grab the box. They were huge, as tall as a house. But their eyes were lonely, as if they were sad all the time. "Why are you all sad?" the soldier asked the dogs. "People get scared when they see us. Just because we are big doesn't mean we are cruel," one dog said. Hearing this, the soldier tried to be friendly with them. Seeing his friendly behavior, the dogs were happy. The soldier did not have to remove them from the box. They moved themselves. The soldier then opened the box. The box was full of shiny gold. He filled his rucksack with gold. He also filled his flask and tiffin box with gold. Some of the gold coins were stained with lamb curry. He didn't mind that. He said the word home. The soldier reached home. One day, Sandita was singing. "Soldier, soldier has come home from the war. I am happy, super happy, and not sad anymore." 2. Say sorry for your mistakes. A king lived in a town. He enjoyed hunting more than anything else. There were many wild animals in the jungle. He went hunting every day. His soldiers went with him. They had many weapons: swords, spears, bow and arrows, and many more. One day he and his soldiers hunted many animals. They stopped on the way when they were coming back to the town. It was nice and cool under a tree. The king went to sleep. He was sleeping peacefully when a stone hit him. He woke up in a state of panic. He wiped his forehead with his hand. There was some blood on his hand. He shouted to his soldiers and said, "Catch, catch whoever has thrown the stone." The soldiers went to all four sides. They saw a woman walking towards the town. They caught her. They brought her and placed her before the king. The king looked at the lady and said, "Why did you throw the stone at me? It disturbed my sleep and hurt me too." The woman looked at the king and said, "O king, I cut firewood in the forest, chop it, sell it in the country, and feed my children with that income. There is nobody else to look after my children. I live alone with my children. My husband died last year. On the way, I saw fruits on the tree. I remembered my children. Isn't it the mother's duty to satisfy the children's hunger? I threw a stone at the tree to pick the fruits. I couldn't see from the distance that you were sleeping in the shade of this tree. The stone I threw disturbed your sleep and injured you too. I am responsible for this mistake. Please forgive me. I am very, very sorry," she pleaded. The king looked at the woman and said, "Girl, you are apologizing for your mistake. That shows your good behavior. I have forgiven you." Then he ordered the soldiers to give the woman 2 cows and money for her expenses. And he also told his soldiers to give her 3 acres of land and plant some fruit trees on one field for her. The soldiers who were around said to the king, "O king, we are surprised that you have forgiven the woman who had thrown a stone at you and given her gifts." The king looked at the soldiers and said, "Soldiers, an ignorant tree bears fruit if the stone is thrown in it. How should we behave if we are wise? And she did not throw the stone at me on purpose. When she hit the fruit with a stone, it accidentally fell on me and hurt me. She regretted her mistake and apologized to me. Not only that, she threw a stone at the tree to satisfy her children's hunger. Wasn't that her duty as a mother? She did so for her children. I gave her gifts as a good king should do." The soldiers were overjoyed to hear the king's explanation. 3. The birds and the shivering monkeys. In a dense forest once, there was a huge tree on the banks of a river. The tree provided plenty of fruit for animals and birds. Many families of birds lived in the tree. They made comfortable homes on the branches of the tree. The nests were constructed with grass and twigs. They were designed in such a way to protect from all weather, rainy, windy, hot, and cold. The birds were living there happily as the tree with its widespread branches sheltered them from the scorching sun and heavy rains. One day, when the sky was overcast with dark clouds, it rained very heavily. Some monkeys who were playing nearby the tree got drenched and ran for shelter under the tree. All of them were shivering with cold. When the birds saw the monkeys in the pitiable condition, one of the birds said, "Oh monkeys, you would not have to shiver like this if you had built a home like us. You would not have to suffer like this. If we can build our nest with small beaks, then why can't you? By God's grace, you have 2 hands and 2 legs. Why don't you make a nice shelter for yourselves?" On hearing this, the monkeys got annoyed and swore to teach a lesson to the birds. They said to themselves, "These birds are not afraid of the rain or of cold wind. They are living comfortably, that is why they are criticizing us like this. Let the rain stops, we'll show them how to build home." As soon as the rain stopped, the monkeys climbed up the tree and destroyed the nests of the birds. They also broke the birds' eggs and threw the young ones down. The poor birds flew here and there in misery. They were full of regret for their words and realized that they should not have given advice that was not asked. Advice should only be given to learned, wise, and to those who ask for it. Moral: never advise fools. 4. The Boys and the Frogs. There was a pond at the end of a village. There was a little water in the pond. There lived a large number of frogs. The frogs were living there happily. One day some boys were passing by the pond. At that time the frogs were at play. The frogs were swimming and croaking happily. The boys saw this. They began to throw stones at the frogs. All the frogs at once went down into the water. But the boys don't leave that place. They remain standing there with stones in their hands. The new game was great fun for the boys. They found great joy in it. They went on pelting the frogs with stones when they raised their head above the water. They killed many frogs by throwing stones. They were very happy. At last, an old frog raised its head and said, "Oh my dear little boys, please stop throwing stones, stop the cruel fun, don't throw stones at us, the stones are killing us, you have killed so many of us for no reason." The boys said, "Why should we stop? It is our play, it is great fun, we are enjoying it." The frog replied, "What is play to you is death to us. This is why you should stop it. This play is your fun, but it gives us death." The boys were ashamed of this. They left the cruel game and went away. Moral: what is play to one is death to another. So be kind to one another. 5. Picture dictionary page.